In what can be seen as the biggest push for the Uniform Civil Code in recent times, today Prime Minister Modi has batted for the implementation of one nation, one law. Just 2 weeks after the 22nd Law Commission started a fresh exercise to seek views on Uniform Civil Code, the Prime Minister accused the opposition of instigating Muslims against a law that would bring parity.
आजकल हम देख रहे हैं कि यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड के नाम पर ऐसे लोगों को भड़काने का काम हो रहा है। आप मुझे बताइए, एक घर में परिवार के एक सदस्य के लिए एक कानून हो, परिवार के दूसरे सदस्य के लिए दूसरा कानून हो, तो क्या वो घर चल पाएगा क्या? कभी भी चल पाएगा क्या? फिर ऐसी दोहरी व्यवस्था से देश कैसे चल पाएगा? हमें याद रखना है कि भारत के संविधान में भी नागरिकों के समान अधिकार की बात कही गई है और सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने बार बार कहा है। सुप्रीम कोर्ट डंडा मारती है, कह रही है कॉमन सिविल कोड लाओ, लेकिन ये वोट बैंक के भूखे लोग।
And as is wont, the opposition parties latched on to the remarks to allege polarization preceding polls. AMIM chief Asduddin Owaisi went as far as to say that the only purpose of raking up the UCC issue is to target and humiliate Muslims. He was joined by DMK in alleging, or challenging rather, to the centre to first make it acceptable to Hindus.
यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड की जब बात प्रधानमंत्री कर रहे हैं, वो यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड की नई बात कर रहे हैं, वो हिंदू सिविल कोड की बात कर रहे हैं। पूरे जो इस्लामिक रेफरेंसेस है प्रैक्टिसेस के, उसको वो इलीगल ट्रीट करेंगे और पूरे हिंदू प्रैक्टिसेस को प्रधानमंत्री अंडर द लॉ प्रोटेक्ट कर लेंगे। आप हिंदू अनडिवाइडेड फैमिली को एबॉलिश करो, पहले नंबर 1 कर सकते क्या आप? मकसद क्या है कि टारगेट करो भारत के मुसलमानों को, उनको ह्यूमिलेट करो।
We are not going to follow on this. These are all the you answer about the unemployment. You answer about the poverty. You answer about the price rise. You answer about the atmosphere in this country on Manipur. You are not even talking about the Manipur. Burning last 60 days, Manipur is burning.
First, they let them introduce Uniform Civil Code in Hinduism, which they talk about. Let them allow everybody to go into any temple.
And the BJP cited multiple instances where the Constitution and courts have called for implementation of equal rights for all to bolster their argument, dismissing criticism as just vote bank politics.
हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी के नेतृत्व में आज मुस्लिम समाज विकास की तरफ तेजी से आगे बढ़ रहा है और मुस्लिम समाज की तमाम वो जरूरतें हैं जिसको हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी ने समझा और समय समय पर उसको पूरा भी किया। निश्चित तौर पे जब समय बढ़ता है, समय आगे बढ़ता है, तो नई नई ज़रूरतें सामने आती हैं और सरकार का ये कर्तव्य होता है कि उन ज़रूरतों को पूरा करे। हम ईमानदारी से मुस्लिम समाज को डेवलपमेंट की तरफ आगे ले जाने की बात न केवल कहते हैं बल्कि धरातल पे करते भी हैं। और सपा हो, कांग्रेस हो, बसपा हो, इन तमाम लोगों ने केवल और केवल मुसलमानों को गुमराह रखने का काम किया, मुसलमानों का वोट लेकर सत्ता में आकर अपने निजी राजनीतिक स्वार्थ को पूरा करने का काम किया, लेकिन कभी भी मुसलमानों के लिए ठोस काम इन्होंने नहीं किया।
संविधान के तो आर्टिकल 44 में राज्यों के डायरेक्टिव प्रिंसिपल में इसका निर्देश दिया है। सर्वोच्च न्यायालय का इसके संबंध में निर्णय है और असमानता होनी नहीं चाहिए, विसंगति होनी नहीं चाहिए, भेदभाव होना नहीं चाहिए। समाज के वंचित, पीड़ित, शोषित वर्ग तक न्याय के अधिकार पहुंचने चाहिए, उसमें समानता होनी चाहिए। ये तो संविधान सम्मत है।
Talking about past 9 years achievements, and one of the common thread has been from promises to delivery. Whatever we promised, we delivered on those promises. In the past, if you see the 9-year rule, you will see that whether it was major decision on removing Article 370, we delivered there. It was our promise. It was our poll promise. If it was about removing triple talaq, we've delivered there, and we did remove triple talaq. If it was about building Ram Temple, which had been destroyed in the past by the invaders, we've delivered there. And Uniform Civil Code also is one such promise which we've made in the past, and I guess every promise has its own time.
All right, let's take this across to our guest. Joining us at the moment, we have with us Anila Singh, spokesperson of the BJP. With us also is Desh Ratan Nigam, lawyer. Joining us also on the broadcast is Advocate Nikhil Jain, political analyst. We have with us IP Singh, national spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party. Sridhar Reddy is a senior leader of the BRS. Let me start with Mr. IP Singh. IP Singh जी, आपने सुना होगा प्रधानमंत्री ने क्या कहा. उन्होंने ये कहा बहुत स्पष्ट तौर से कि ये कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में प्रोविजन है, डायरेक्टिव प्रिंसिपल्स में लिखा गया है जहां तक यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड की बात है, और साथ ही साथ कहा है कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने भी कई बार केंद्र सरकार से इस मामले पर जवाब मांगा है. तो ऐसे में इसे पॉलिटिकल दृष्टि से क्यों देखा जाए, ये सवाल उठता है. क्या कहेंगे आप?
देखिए, देश का प्रधानमंत्री पढ़ा लिखा होना चाहिए और मुझे नहीं लगता कि प्रधानमंत्री कभी संविधान की कोई भी आर्टिकल खोलकर उन्होंने पढ़ा होगा. और प्रधानमंत्री और भारतीय जनता पार्टी इस देश का विभाजन चाहती है. यही एकमात्र कारण है कि बराक ओबामा ने जिस तरफ इशारा किया था, प्रधानमंत्री जब विदेश दौरे पर रहते हैं तो मस्जिदों में जाते हैं, बड़ी बड़ी बातें करते हैं, लेकिन जब वो चुनाव कैंपेन में जाते हैं तो वो कहते हैं कि आप पहचान सकते हैं, उनके कपड़ों से पहचान सकते हैं कि वो कौन से ऐसे लोग हैं. सवाल ये है कि 9 वर्षों तक आपको यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड की याद नहीं आई. अब आप चाहते हैं कि कॉमन सिविल कोड लागू हो, क्योंकि आप महंगाई पर फेल हो गए. आपने कहा बहुत हुई महंगाई की मार, अब की बार मोदी सरकार. आपने कहा पेट्रोल के दाम 30 से 40 रुपए होंगे. आपने कहा डॉलर 30 से 35 रुपए में डॉलर उपलब्ध होगा. आपने बड़े बड़े वादे किए. आपने कहा 100 स्मार्ट सिटीज बनाई जाएगी, फास्ट ट्रेनें चलाई जाएंगी, बुलेट ट्रेन चलेगी. आप उन मुद्दों पर एक बात नहीं करते. मणिपुर क्या देश का हिस्सा नहीं है? मणिपुर जल रहा है. 60 दिन 2 महीने.
आईपी सिंह जी, एक छोटा सा सवाल है. छोटा सा सवाल है सर. आपने आर्टिकल 44 पढ़ा है कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन का? आर्टिकल 44 क्या कहता है?
मैं अभी एट प्रेजेंट तो मैंने नहीं पढ़ा है. हाँ, लेकिन मैं
आपको बता देता हूं सर. मैं पढ़ के आपको एक मिनट थोड़ा सा सबर दिखा दे तो मैं पढ़ के आपको एक लाइन सुना देता हूं. द स्टेट वुड मेक एवरी एफर्ट टू इंश्योर दैट रेजिडेंट्स थ्रू आउट इंडिया हैव एक्सेस टू अ कंसिस्टेंट सिविल कोड. स्पष्ट तौर पे डायरेक्टिव प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ स्टेट पॉलिसी में अगर यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड की मेंशन है तो कहां से एंटी कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल हो गया सर? ये आपने कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन नहीं पढ़ा है आईपी सिंह जी.
मैं पीएचडी हूं, मुझे
आप पीएचडी है लेकिन आपने कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन नहीं पढ़ा.
मुझे शर्म आती है.
आप आरोप लगा रहे हैं प्रधानमंत्री पे, आपने खुद कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन नहीं पढ़ा है.
ये दुर्भाग्य है.
आईपी सिंह जी, मैंने पढ़ा है. आप मुझे फैक्ट्स पे काउंटर करिए. डोंट गेट पर्सनल एंड इमोशनल. काउंटर मी ऑन फैक्ट्स. बिल्कुल, आप अपने पीएचडी के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं, आप प्रधानमंत्री को अटैक कर रहे हैं. आर्टिकल 44 में डायरेक्टिव प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ स्टेट पॉलिसी में यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड मेंशन्ड है कि नहीं? मेंशन्ड है कि नहीं आईपी सिंह?
शिक्षा मंत्री
आईपी सिंह जी, आर्टिकल 44 में मेंशन है कि नहीं? ऑलराइट, आई आस्क्ड दैट क्वेश्चन अबाउट 5 टाइम्स. Mr. IP Singh, unfortunately, wants to only respond emotionally. I'm going to allow Desh Ratan Nigam to come in on this. Desh Ratan Nigam.
Madhav, in fact, I was rather surprised that the Samajwadi spokesperson had no clue about directive principle of state policy and Article 44 mentioned therein. But be that as it may, fact remains, at the time of framing of the Constitution, if you look at the Constituent Assembly's debates, the Uniform Civil Code was to be implemented across all religions and communities, except tribals, and however, it was opposed by Muslims, mainly Muslims at that point of time, and the Uniform Civil Code was converted into Hindu Civil Code, out of which 4 laws came out: Hindu Marriage Act, Hindu Succession Act, Hindu Adoption Act, Hindu Guardianship Act. These 4 acts came out. So Hindus already have Uniform Civil Code, except that the others opposed, and hence those reforms could not take place. Can anybody justify halala or polygamy? Nobody can. Can anybody justify triple talaq? Nobody can, sitting out here. But for a moment, if I say I support Sharia law in this country, but only on one condition, I will also ask for Sharia law and criminal law also, where if you commit a theft, your hands will be chopped off, or you will be publicly stoned by people. if those are the people who are saying they only want Sharia law in the civil sphere, but they do not want to be governed by Sharia law and criminal law, but they want to be governed by IPC, then I don't think they are true Muslims.
Right.
Therefore, let me just finish.
Yeah.
So far as unemployment or inflation is concerned, I just want them to look at the EPFO data, where 58% fresh employment increase has taken place. In fact, it is rather may have increased now further. Now, inflation at 4.7%, the latest data that has come.
Okay.
So what are they talking about? They have no idea what they are talking about.
Let's not spread the focus. I just want to stick to the issues that have been raised right now. And Nikhil Jain, the question is this, that ultimately the Prime Minister is referring to the Constitution. He's referring to various court judgments. You're an advocate. You know that from, the Shabano case to what happened in 2003 in the John Valvator's case, or in fact in the 2019 and 23 judgments, repeatedly Supreme Court has asked the centre, what have you done? And this is in the domain of the legislature. So in as such, and given what is there in Article 44, why is this suddenly becoming such a hot potato is a question that many are asking.
The reason this is a hot potato is because the regime that is trying to implement it right now, and that was a year before the elections. This government has been around since 9 years. They have conveniently forgotten about the UCC. They themselves constituted the 21st Law Commission that submitted a report on UCC in August 2018 after holding consultations with the people for 2 years. And that report has now been junked and a new report has been called. This entire fiasco is nothing but an election plank. And when we're talking about the Uniform Civil Code and DPSP, let's remember two things. Number one, the directive principles of state policy, they are only advisory in nature, they are not binding. There is a very specific reason why it has been put in the DPSP and not as a fundamental right. Secondly, when you talk about a uniform anything, Uniform Civil Code, Uniform Criminal Code, the question is, how do you define what uniformity is going to apply to the nation? So if there is a criminal law that says that every thief's hands should be cut, and that applies to everybody, Hindus and Muslims, that would be uniform criminal law. Similarly, when you're talking about uniform civil law, whether those laws, whether those customs are of the Hindus, are of Muslims, are in the middle part, that is what is to be determined. Let me remind my friend Mr. Nigam that he was talking about the Hindu Code Bill in 1955, which was originally supposed to be the Uniform Civil Code. So that the same bills were vehemently opposed by the Hindu Mahasabha, the RSS, and most of the Hindu nationalists at that point of time, because they thought they were giving too much right, and that was state intervention into religion.
Okay.
And that is exactly what is happening right now.
I want to bring in Anla Singh now, because we have limited time. Please bear with me. We have limited time. I want to bring in Anla Singh on 2 points. Anla Singh, the question being raised by Mr. Jain over here is that this is being done only for purely political reasons. A year ahead of the Lok Sabha polls, this issue has been rigged up. Why did it not come up for 9 years? And he also says that it is a section of the right wing that actually opposed the UCC during the time of independence. Two questions that I would like you to respond to.
My ram to everyone. See, whenever we talk about UCC or about the policy on population, what we have seen that Muslims, they start playing victim, and others, in the art of secularism, they start advocating for it. But the reality is, we talk about India. India is a secular nation, and each and every citizen should have equal rights and equal laws. So why UCC? That is not equal, then that should not be implemented. Is it going to happen? Of course not. It is going to focus on marriage, on the adoption, divorce, and inheritance. Nobody is talking to follow rituals and all. Then why so much of ho halla? Ho halla is because they want to target Bharatiya Janata Party, and they fail to understand that the sentiment of Hindus are above Bharatiya Janata Party and RSS as well. Even Mr. Nikhil is sitting here, he is a Hindu. He is not in Bharatiya Janata Party. So whenever we talk about the UCC or population policy or criminalizing triple talaq, why they start saying that they want to polarize, it is all because of the political gain. No, sir, it is not for the political gain. It is not political centric issue. It is the legitimate issue. It is the social issue. And I think each and every citizen living in this great country, they should be under one umbrella, one nation, one constitution, then why different laws? Whether we talk about the criminal laws, whether we talk about the civil laws, all the citizens should practice or should have all the laws on the same platform. And I can say that once the UCC is being implemented in our country, the biggest beneficiary will be the women. That too Muslim women.
Okay.
So why they are...
Let me bring in Sridhar Reddy. Sridhar Reddy, you heard what the Prime Minister said. The Prime Minister said that several Muslim nations, if these are all essential practices, he referred to triple talaq, he referred to, I believe, polygamy and several other practices, and he says that if these have been banned in several Muslim nations across the world, then why not here in India? And hasn't it just been held back for purely political and vote bank politic reasons?
Yeah, that's what actually we also say. It's only vote bank politics Modi ji is doing. Because what have you done for the past 9 years? After abrogation of the Article 370, your party rank and file from Gully to Delhi, everybody said that now next is Uniform Civil Code. What happened in the past 9 years? And I'm asking you, what has changed from 2018 now till now? In 5 years after the Law Commission report, what has changed in the country? Now you wanted to make this a whole issue, whole agenda. Hence you wanted this Law Commission to ask for this kind of information now. What has changed? The question here is, many things are not answered. What happened to Machai CAA? After it became an act in 2020, till date, you have taken 7 extensions, even only to frame rules. And 16 people have died because of your inefficiency. Now, it was there in your manifesto in the past. It will remain in your manifesto again. And this will be a whole agenda to polarize people. There is nothing that they are thinking of people's good in this.
Okay, I just want to ask a simple question. We are almost out of time. IP Singh ji, आप राम मनोहर लोहिया के फॉलोअर है क्या? समाजवादी पार्टी के मेंबर are you a follower राम मनोहर लोहिया? आपको क्या जानकारी है कि he was also proponent of UCC? UCC को बैक किया था उन्होंने?
सवाल अगर 60वें या 70वें दशक की बात आप करेंगे और आज चुनाव की बेला में जब बीजेपी हर मोर्चे पर विफल हो गई, महंगाई,
सर यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड तो यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड है सर,
बेरोजगारी
60 के दशक में भी कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन का भाग था और आज के डेट में भी कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन का भाग है.
एक मिनट प्लीज.
नो बट देन हाउ कैन यू चेंज योर पोजीशन? आप लोहियावादी है या नहीं है, बता दीजिए हमें.
अरे भाई मैं लोहियावादी, मेरी बात तो आ जाने दीजिए. पटना में
हाँ या नाम में बोलिए ना सर.
बीजेपी नेताओं में ये खौफ आ गया, यही कारण है कि आनंद फानन में
सर
ये तैयार करके.
बिल्कुल, आपने बीजेपी पे बहुत सारे आरोप लगाए. अब मेरे सवाल का जवाब दीजिए, सिंपल सवाल. आप लोहिया के फॉलोअर है कि नहीं है?
बीजेपी को पता है कि
आप डॉक्टर राम मनोहर लोहिया के फॉलोअर है कि नहीं है? सिंपल सवाल, हाँ या ना में जवाब दे दीजिए.
भाई मैं समाज
या तो राम मनोहर लोहिया गलत थे या आप गलत है. या तो राम मनोहर लोहिया जी गलत थे या आप गलत हैं.
अगर आपको ये लागू करना था तो पिछले 9 वर्षों में आपको याद क्यों नहीं आई? जब 6 महीने चुनाव रह गए तो आप हर
सर आपने मेरे सवाल का I asked you the question. The first question was to you 5 times. You did not answer that. I have asked you whether you're a follower and a believer of Mr. Ram Manohar Lohia, who is an icon of your party, the Samajwadi Party. You've again not answered me. Many hands going up, ladies and gentlemen. Quick 10-second response from Desh Ratan Nigam. We're almost out of time. Quick response, Desh Ratan Nigam. Almost out of time.
The fact remains that Nikhil Jain clearly pointed out that Uniform Civil Code at that point of time was opposed by Hindus. But it did become a law, those 4 laws. So even today, if some people are opposing, so by that logic, I think Nikhil Jain wants this to be implemented.
Okay. We'll have to leave it there at the moment. Thanks so much, ladies and gentlemen. It's certainly going to be a very heated debate. We've probably just heard the beginning of this debate over coming days. And of course, all eyes on what the Law Commission's own consultations will throw up in coming days. Slipping into a quick break for now.